SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Toyota of Brookhaven has been voted best new car dealership in Southwest Mississippi 4 years in a row. Come see the difference. Exit 40 Brookhaven or online at ToyotaBrookhaven.com. Great service, great savings. At Toyota of Brookhaven, we deliver.
Your towns, your team, your source, that's Y'all Sports. This is Cliff Further, Y'all and Y'all Sports, and I'm here on Y'all Sports Radio with you. We come to you every week from the SuperTalk 102.1 FM studios in downtown Brookhaven. I'm joined, as always, by my friend and co-host, Brendan Shamatara. And Brendan, what a treat today. Our guest today got to experience something that most guests don't get to experience, and that's the theme song. Yes. She got to put on the headphones. She got to hear the theme song, which is we're still waiting for somebody that wants to go to open mic night at Magnolia Blues and play that on acoustic guitar. We'll hook you up with some Y'all Sports merch. But
Jay Greer.
No, I've got one. I've got one on the works. She's just working on the chords right now. But yeah, we're doing things a little bit different today, and we've already got our guest in studio with us, and it is Brookhaven Academy Athletic Director and head girls basketball coach Alissa Adams. She is a busy woman. I called her today. I said, Alissa, I know you're super busy. I meant to talk to you last week about this, and she carved a little bit of time out for us. And Coach, I mean, you are. I know everybody's busy, but it feels like since you took this job a few months ago, has every day been like a checklist of things to do for you?
There's definitely been a checklist. There's many days that I make another checklist that they just seem to be never ending, and I don't know that I get to put many checks, but I'm trying, and it has been busy, but it's been fun. Yeah,
and you guys, Brookhaven Academy, have got a lot of exciting things going on. You've added to the PR staff. Shannon Miller's been able to hire some folks there. Got Hannah Hudson helping with photography. Got Sienna Bergeron, a friend of mine, who's helping with graphics and stuff. It all looks great. You guys have a app now, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have a BA Cougars app. You can find all of our schedules. You can find roster, pictures that are taken. We can upload and attach that to certain players. So if you follow a player, almost kind of like X, you can look on there and see that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
And who needs max preps when you have the BA Cougars app?
That's what everybody's saying, Brandon. yeah. And so that's a place for fans. And man, you guys that's what you have. You have fans, you have supporters, you have very loyal grandparents and folks that, when I go to a game at Brookhaven Academy, it doesn't matter what sport, I'm always blown away at the people that are there supporting that don't have a kid playing. Right? Because there are some places you go and there are kids playing who don't even have fans there. And yet you guys have folks that their kids have graduated. Maybe they don't even have grandkids out there, and they're still. Have you noticed that in your short time there at the school?
I definitely have. We played some summer basketball this year, and there was just a wide variety of people that even made trips this summer to watch our teams play, and that was encouraging coming into the program.
Yeah, and you we'll get into your bio a little bit here. You're a Hancock County native, and your introduction to Southwest Mississippi was playing basketball. You played for the Southwest Bears for Coach Brent Harris there. Do you remember the first game you were at where Coach Harris came and talked to you and tried to get you to come to Summit?
I do. It was much different than it is now with recruiting. Coach Harris came a couple times to practice, but we were sitting at Gulfport High School's gym, and I told him I was going to come to Southwest, and I had never visited Summit.
Wow.
I didn't even tell my parents. I just told him I was coming, and I just felt at the time that was the best thing for me, and lo and behold, it really was.
You had a good feeling about it.
Apparently I did.
I guess the Lord was laying that on your heart that you were supposed to go there, and, I mean, golly, it worked out for you. You go and you were a great player there at Southwest. Is that when you met your husband? Was that when you were at Southwest?
Yes, we actually had a couple classes together, and he thought it was a little strange because I was an Adam, so my name got called first on the roll, and he didn't understand because he was an Adams.
That's
and
right.
And then we kind of rekindled through the BSU. So
that's
cool.
That's a fun fact I love about you. When you got married, you just had to add an S to that name. You're an Adam from Hancock County. Your dad was a longtime sheriff down there, right?
That's correct.
Recently retired?
Yes, in January.
How many years?
Oh man, he was justice court judge from 01 to 11, and then sheriff from 11 to 26.
I spent some time in Hancock County after Katrina, and my dad's a logger, and we did some cleanup down there, and man, they're just tough people down there. They're tough. I imagine being the sheriff down there. He probably came home with stories all the time, right? Because things that happen in the kiln, they don't always happen everywhere. Or the kill, they don't happen everywhere else, right?
You are exactly right. It's unique.
Yeah.
But I do love going home. So
yeah, no. Hey, you can smell that salt air. You're that close to the coast. It's a really cool spot, and it's a place where great girls basketball is played, and you were part of that legacy. It meant something when you were growing up to play women's basketball for Hancock, right?
For sure. We had a long history of good girls basketball programs with great players that played in front of us, and that mentored me. Fun fact, the girl that ended up coaching me in junior high actually played for Coach Harris at Southeastern Louisiana. So it's kind of how all this came to fruition. But yeah, they still do. They have a great program. Coach Cisco does a great job with them.
Lincoln County native Jamie Cisco. He's a West Lincoln legend. I hope Jerry hears this. My buddy Jerry Cisco, his dad. And yeah, Jamie has kind of kept it going down there. When you played for a lady named Pam Slayton. I knew Pam from running basketball camps at Colin. And, I played basketball for a guy named Dale Watts. And you say that around here, people are like, oh, they understand what you're talking about. You played for a Dale Watt, a version of, Pam Slayton didn't take mess off of anybody. Did that kind of push you into becoming a coach, playing for a coach that was so demanding like that?
I think so. I really tried to avoid the coaching route just in general. I never thought that I would end up there going into college, and then I just felt like basketball was always home for me. Yeah. So I just kind of ended back up. Yeah,
and basketball was home for you. You get out of college, you start working. You're at ASC down around Liberty, which you live in Amite County, so you're familiar with that part of the world. And then you get a chance to coach at West Lincoln, and you had some special teams at West Lincoln. A lot of fun, couple of years spent there. And you move on, and the chance was to go back home to Southwest to be Coach Harris's assistant. We talked. I was looking – when I was getting ready to call you today, I was looking back at our text messages. Our last texts were about when you took the Brookhaven Academy job, and you were telling me, it wasn't an easy decision because so many folks that are in the profession that you were in, getting those JUCO jobs is like the goal. And you had one. But tell me about the opportunity that presented itself at Brookhaven Academy that made it feel like, okay, this is the next step for me in my career.
Yeah, it was for sure a God thing. My husband and I both started praying about just our future. We have a 4-year-old. We have an infant at the time, and we just really didn't know what the Lord was trying to tell us to do. And so we just both said, we're going to listen, and we're just going to be patient and see what happens. But there was a lot of conflict in my schedule at Southwest, and that I was missing out on my little girl's first year of school. And so anyway, this opportunity presented itself, and it was just something that we had been praying about. And so we knew that it was something that the Lord had placed on our hearts because of how long we had been thinking. But I'm excited to get to work for Mr. Knight again. I did work for him at ASC. He was great to work for. It was a great opportunity for me starting out, and I'm thankful that he even gave someone like me an opportunity with not much on a resume besides some camps. And so that kind of got me going. And so to get to go back and work with him and for him and build up what's already been established at Brookhaven Academy is really special.
John and I go way back, Brian. John Knight and I. When John was coaching at Amite County High School, I was an assistant at Brookhaven High, and we had a one-day showcase, and it was a really great event. I mean, we had Tyler Adams that went on to play at Georgetown. He was at Brandon. We had them come down, and we had Provine come in, and Provine had a future UConn signing and a future LSU signing, and man, my boss did him dirty. John didn't know that too. He was going to play, so John shows up to the gym and he's like, "Who are we even playing?" and Alderman at large Ronald Hines was like, "You're playing Provine," and man, John's guys were only like down like 2 or 4 at halftime. I swear to you, every point in the first half came off a made 3-pointer or a dunk. Now in the second half, the Amite County Trojans kind of wilted a little bit, but I laugh with John all the time. That was the ultimate, carpet pull of a schedule. I think John thought he was going to play Enterprise, and he ended up playing Provine. So, Alissa, we're talking with Alissa Adams. She's the athletic director at Brookhaven Academy. She's also the head girls basketball coach, and we'll get into the future of Brookhaven Academy girls basketball here in a little bit. But what are you going to miss the most, you think, out of that coaching at the JUCO level?
Ultimately, just the impact that you have on the players that you get to coach at JUCO is just a lot different than high school. These kids get to go home to their parents every night, and the ones at JUCO, they're with you. They're yours for that while. So I'll miss those relationships and just being able to make those impact. I think the most I'll miss, Coach Harris and just being with him every day. He's been a mentor for me for a very long time, and so
great coach.
I value his friendship a lot. He hasn't quite gotten rid of me all the way, but but yeah, probably just the relationships that I've made there.
Great coach. I love to watch Brent's teams play. They have a certain style about them that I just find enjoyable. They're just well coached, run their great sets. Brandon played junior college football at Northeast. Brandon, you were a pretty decent way away from home, being from Batesville and Boonville. Did you have an assistant coach that kind of like took care of you, that you could call on if you needed something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, your position coach is always going to be the one that you lean on the most, especially in football. I mean, it's almost like you rarely see your head coach in football. But, oh, man, we would go to my offensive line coach's house, and his wife would cook chicken spaghetti, and we would watch ball. Of course, in the fall, there's always some type of game on. And so, yeah, no, you're exactly right. Listen, the relationships are ones. I mean, I had somebody reach out to me today from 20 years ago at Northeast Community College, and we'll just catch up for a minute, and you see each other, and it's just like long lost friends. You don't skip a beat. And,
that's right.
Thankful for social media. You get to kind of keep up with everybody and be more than one place at a time. But yeah, no, Coach, you're exactly right. Relationships are huge, but they're still there in high school. Because there's always the kid in high school who maybe a split home, mom and dad aren't together, and you can kind of be an extra level of support for the child. I saw that a lot when I was coaching, and that means something to the kids. I mean, just lifelong relationships that that they'll never forget.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, and I'm with you, Coach. Those being the surrogate parent for the kids at the JUCO level is special. It's something I got to experience once. I had a 7-foot kid from Nigeria who just basically lived with me an entire summer, and man, I have stories about TJ Cosile. But yeah, it's different, and that's the thing I still miss to this day is like getting to go into the homes and make the relationships with the kids you're recruiting, and getting to know their families. And sometimes you get them, sometimes you didn't get them. But even the ones you didn't get, you spent so much time getting to know them that's a special kind of bond. Well, it was I bragged on the hire. I thought Brookhaven Academy could not have made a better hire than luring you out of the JUCO ranks to get you to coach the girls. And when we get back, we're going to hit the break right quick. When we get back, I want to hear how the summer went. We're going to talk about Brookhaven Academy Lady Cougar basketball next on Y'all Sports Radio with Coach Alissa Adams. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for the perfect, unique gift? Visit Juan's Seed Store at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven. Discover our stunning waxed amaryllis bulbs. Simply place and watch them grow. Soy lotion candles from Waveland Candle Company provide an eco-friendly clean burn and provide a moisturizing scented lotion when burning. Sippy Scents out of Pearl has created the most intense fragrances for detergents, cleaners, room sprays, and oils. Shop these selections and more today at Juan's Seed Store.
Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call Sam Ballard today at 601-669-5999. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
All right, y'all, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Furr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, joined as always by my friend and co-host Brendan Shamatara. And before we go any further into the show, got to thank our awesome sponsors. They make Y'all Sports Radio possible. That's Bank of Brookhaven, Toyota of Brookhaven, Brendan Shamatara, State Farm Insurance, Sam Ballard with Good Hope Land and Timber, and our friends at Juan Seed Store. It's more than a seed store at Juan Seed Store. When this goes to podcast form, and it will, you'll be able to listen to it thanks to our friends at Juan. We are joined today by our guest, Coach Alissa Adams. Alissa is the athletic director at Brookhaven Academy. She's also the girls basketball coach. Alissa, when did you get hired? Back in the spring?
Yes, I think March.
Kind of been a whirlwind for you. You get hired in March. You got to start getting ready for camp and things like that. I know you played with your girls all throughout the summer. Tell me about the first summer with your girls and how that went.
Yeah, I would say we played a little different look of summer than they probably have in the past. I took them down to Orange Beach, and we played in a Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama school little summer league there for 2 days. Very physical, probably a style of play that we're not overly used to. And so I thought it was really good to just see them kind of get outside their comfort zone and play just a different style and level of basketball. I took them over to Hancock, and we went down there and played against a couple teams, but particularly was Biloxi, and I kind of piped up Big Z from Biloxi a little bit because she's ginormous. And
is she still there?
She is. She's going to be a
I thought she
senior.
had signed. She's going to South Carolina, huh?
She has South Carolina. I don't know if that's where she's going, but she's got a couple. So
a friend of mine from Louisiana reached out to me this week and said, hey, I've been invited to play a thing at Northwest Rankin. I'm either going to play Biloxi, Northwest Rankin, or Harrison Central. How are they? And I said, Biloxi's really good, but I said, I think their big girl, like, she's gone or whatever. So
yeah, she's not gone.
Okay. Wow.
And they picked up some guard. I mean, Biloxi, they obviously he does a great job there. But so I did take them down to Hancock, and we played them. And I thought that we played a different pace of basketball. I wouldn't say a new brand, just a rejuvenated brand. And I've seen them work hard. I've seen them get physical when they need to get physical. I was very moved by the way that we played this summer. And then going into July, we did just a lot of skill development. That seems, when we get going here in the fall, some of that gets neglected just because of time purposes. So it was great to be able to get them in the gym and do almost like individual workouts through the month of July. And we've kind of carried that over 2 days a week this August. So it's a great time for Brookhaven Academy girls basketball.
I'm excited. I can't wait to watch your girls out there on the court. Just talk to me a little bit. I feel like this group of girls that Brookhaven Academy has right now with softball and with basketball, some of them have they've had older girls above them who've been doing it and scoring the points or getting the hits or like that. But there's a great group of younger athletes that are now kind of getting to emerge. Obviously, you have AR back, which I know she was out pretty much all summer, right? So AR Thurman's going to be your senior leader. But tell me about some of these other girls that are developing that are going to be ones that you're going to be counting on.
Yeah, I've been there. There's a couple people that I've just watched through this summer that I think will make some big impacts for us, particularly young, since you mentioned that. Emerson Robinson, she's an 8th grader. She really, I call her Noodle because she's very noodly, but she hasn't grown into what she's going to be yet.
Man.
And I got chills because she's going to be a player. And I'm super excited the way that she played through the summer and her fall so far. I mean, she really has come on as a player.
And I tell her, I say, your mama was a beast on the baseline. Your mama would catch that thing on the baseline, shot fake, and then drive the baseline and shoot a little floater. And And I was telling Lindsay that one day, and she was like, I don't think she believes me. And I was like, well, I'll testify. Lindsay was a go-getter. Keep going.
Yeah. A couple of my seniors, Allie Claire Hall, she'll be back. She shoots the ball really well. Ruth Ellen Gates, I see her more stepping outside rather than playing back to the basket, and I think that she'll thrive there. Bailey Douglas, she's just got this tenacity about her that I don't know if many people just have the dog in them like she does.
Yeah.
And so she's fun to coach. I'm going to leave somebody out, but they just all have been
they bought in.
Receptive to me and what I'm trying to do, and it is challenging, it is hard, and that's just what we got to do to win. You
want to push them, you want to make practice intense, you want to make practice difficult, because then the games will feel like a vacation, right? And
that's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, if practice is easy, the games are going to be hard. Both of them can't be easy. So.
That's right.
Coach, how many do you have out right now? I know your roster's probably a little fluid because, you kids may be on the fence, but I know you pretty well put your team together in the summer, minus one or two. How many players do you have out right now?
So I have 13 on varsity, and then between my 7th grade and my JV, I have 27.
Wow.
So I've got about 30-ish. Not all of them are with me right now because they play softball. Yeah. But I've got a big group. I think I've had 24 consistently in the gym.
Wow.
So,
and I think one thing that definitely excited you about the job and excites a lot of folks out there is a huge group of athletes in the junior high that are just kind of like chomping at the bit to get going. So, I think that one thing that the MAIS programs do well is they play a ton of junior high games. They play a ton of JV games. It's a lot of work for the coach, but it's more than when you're getting junior high kids 20 games during a season, that's a lot of opportunity for them to develop. Have you had fun working with the younger kids too?
I have. My little 7th graders, they are little bitty tiny things, but man, they are little spitfires, and I have loved Coach Jill Nations is helping me, and Lily Gates, and I think between the three of us, that 7th grade group has fired us up.
Hey, look, Cliff, I saw those kids in a tournament last year. The current 7th graders, of course, they were 6th grade Pee Wee last year, and it was at ASC. I think it was the last tournament of the year, last basketball season for them. And you talk about can run the floor and scrappy.
Yeah.
Brother, the future's bright for BA girls basketball, I promise you.
Well, it's fun. It's, part of the growing up in a small town and seeing, and Brookhaven Academy is obviously the place I'm most familiar with. That's, where I went to school for 14 years. And so when you're talking about, that's Kelly Bird's kid. Well, she plays like Kelly Bird played, just diving on the floor, doing whatever she can to help her team win. And Holly Pepper was one of my best friends in college. Her husband, Will, was my roommate. And so I've seen Bess, grow up her entire life. And, I'm excited. Stella Smith is my cousin Megan's daughter. She's out there. She plays softball. Somebody told me there were 12 softball 7th graders at Brookhaven Academy. So it's not just that the girls are there, but the girls are playing. They're sticking together. And it's just cool because so many of them are playing AAU. So many of them are playing like travel softball. And that's just the parents letting their coaches know that, like, hey, we care. That's what you want today.
And, of course, when I hit Coach with some rapid-fire questions in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I'll just kind of recap what I've said on the show before. Whenever my little girl Ramsey started 5th grade basketball at BA, I'd worked with her some. I always let my kids set the pace and, let's go play or let's shoot around. Let me teach you this, and just kind of ease I've never been, since I coached football and I saw moms and dads do it wrong for a long time, I said, I'm going to take a different approach. Well, anyway, I think that will have helped me with my child, but then also she's kind of behind the 8 ball because those 5th and 6th grade girls they have had lessons for years. They're more talented, skilled, and they understand the game. And so I'm looking at a current 6th grader, and we're doing lessons we're continuing to do lessons, playing a little catch up. But she's enjoying it. And so we're teaching her things as we go. And Coach can, of course, she works with Cornelia Gaden, but I said, Coach Cornelia is teaching you this, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The way you're moving around on that court, you're acting like you're not mad at all. You're just letting balls fly by your head. Somebody else is getting the rebound. I told her the last time I took her to one of their little games, I said, you're going to be in trouble if you're not on the ground at some point during this game. All right? You're just too nice. And that's because her daddy has just cuddled her and loved her all through her life. And I'll continue to do that, but I'm going to teach her how to be a butthole too.
That's coaching advice. The Brandon Shamataro, that cost you exactly nothing to hear that. Coach, you have anything to add to that? You would agree with that, right?
I definitely would agree. My little girl sitting out there with her bow in, going to be running around in her little cheer suit. So I guess I got to get a little tougher on her too.
Before it's too late.
I know.
Before it's too late.
Yeah. She's gonna. Well, that's why she's gonna spend her summers in Hancock County, and Coach is gonna drop her off down there and get a little taste of what she had growing up. Well, look, Coach is she's got game admin duty. She's got to run down to Liberty here in a little bit, but before she does, we're gonna hit her with some rapid fire questions. Let me start, Brandon. Let me ask her a question to start with. What's your go-to order at Granny's Corner?
Oh, club sandwich all the way.
Okay.
It's amazing. You'll never.
Okay, well, I got to try that.
My husband will tell you different. He'll tell you always to get the cheeseburger.
I got a patty melt that changed my life.
Club sandwich.
Okay. All right, that's a good one. Go ahead,
listen,
Brandon.
if you boost the sales at Granny's Corner, you're going to have to get a cut off.
They don't need me, man. They got great word of mouth.
They don't because they are crazy busy.
All right, Coach, welcome to Rapid Fire. Here we go. Man-to-man or zone?
Oh, man-to-man.
Okay. Best shooter that you ever coached?
Probably Mary Claire Johnson.
Nice. One word that describes Brookhaven Academy athletics. It may be too early to tell. I know you're just getting your feet set, but we can just say basketball. How about that?
Okay.
I'm going to say branding. You are doing a great job with y'all's, as far as athletics go. You guys are doing a great job with your branding.
Yeah, don't steal her thunder.
Oh.
You give your answer.
Okay. I mean, branding, obviously, but I definitely think just like the word that sticks out to me the most would probably be like loyalty, because just all the way around athletics, whether it's fans, whether it's players playing the game, just that word and Brookhaven Academy go together to me.
100%. All right. Best excuse you ever had from a player for missing practice? Some of these are off the wall. You're welcome for this.
I did have a player one time tell me she was going to a funeral, and I did look it up, and she didn't go because that person didn't die. I'm just saying. So
She just needed a break.
that is true.
She just needed a break. hey, my wife, Angela, she's been a long time teacher online at Colin for speech. And she once had a guy that said that his grandmother passed away. And she didn't say she didn't believe him, but for emphasis, he took a picture beside the coffin and sent it through Canvas. So
She was actually at the LSU event whenever they were hosting the beginning. I don't even remember the very beginning when LSU got to host. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Well, that might top Coach Jeremy Loy's player missing because he had to go sell a horse.
Yeah. Couldn't make practice.
Here we go. What is the best way to introduce sports to young children?
Put a ball in their hand.
Yeah. And have fun.
That's right. Make it fun. Give them a ball, and just teach them how to want to win, the will to win.
I like it. All right, last one. In 20 years, what would you like your players from Brookhaven Academy and other schools to say about you?
I would hope that they would say something along the lines that I made a lasting impression on their life, not just through basketball, but their salvation, and that they can see Christ through me. And I hope that at the end of the day, that's what I do for all my players.
All right, we'll be back next week. Great job, Coach.
Well, hey, we're in the studio. We're talking. This is one side of things, but if you want to see the real Alissa Adams, come watch Brookhaven Academy play. Come watch her on the sideline. I'm not saying that she's overly this or overly that, but she said it. There's an intensity there that she wants our girls to play with at all times. And I'm a big fan. I can't wait to watch the girls. Coach, when's the first game of the season?
We host our ping tournament October 26th and 27th at home.
That will be here before we know it, folks. And we will be watching hoops in John R. Gray Gymnasium with our friend Alissa Adams at the helm of Brookhaven Academy girls basketball. Coach, Again, thank you so much for carving out some time for us today on Y'all Sports Radio.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
Good
All
luck,
right,
Coach.
that was
Thanks.
Coach Alissa Adams. When we get back, Brandon and I will be back to talk more about important things in our life, like washing our hair, next on Y'all Sports Radio.
Exciting news, Brookhaven. Juan Seed Store has a fresh start under new ownership. Meet Guy and Paige Nelson, who are thrilled to welcome you to our fabulous new location at 636 Greenview Trail. At Juan Seed Store, we're not just about seeds. Discover a wide range of top-quality feed, seed, and everything you need for your outdoor adventures. Explore our expanded selection of gardening essentials, pet supplies, and outdoor gear. It's a whole new experience waiting for you. Juan Seed Store, more than just a seed store. Visit us today and see the difference at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Give Sam Ballard a call at 601-669-5999 for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
All right, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Furr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, joined as always by my friend and co-host Brandon Shamatara. I just got done talking with Coach Alissa Adams. If you missed last week's show, we had my sister on, Katie Furr Mobley, and we talked about year one of Y'all Sports, which is, if you didn't know, dedicated to covering all things athletics in a 5-county coverage area. We're in Copiah, Franklin, Lincoln, Lawrence, and Pike counties. And it has been so much fun getting school back in session. Practices are underway. Teams this week in the public school league, they're able to put on shoulder pads with their shorts this week. And Brandon, when you came in earlier, you had a huge stack of your handy-dandy pocket schedules that let everybody know who's playing when and where for all the teams in Lincoln County. It's the best time of the year, isn't it, brother?
Oh man, look, when I place the order for these schedules, there's just like a shift in my life. I just get more excited, and then they get printed and they got dropped off today. And so, yeah, if you're looking for the schedule that's been around for about 4 or 5 years now, you can either pick it up at one of your local gas stations or swing by the office and get you one. But there is one typo on there. There's so many teams and games.
Oh, yeah, it's tough.
Anyway, my secretary was looking at it, and, of course, she's got an eye for this. I need to make her director of these schedules. But anyway, so she said, hey, looks like West Lincoln on October 9th is playing Sale. Brother, that's supposed to be Salem. So if you get one of these schedules, just know I try hard, and I want to make it right, and I try to make it user-friendly. But listen, contact the schools, go to their Facebook pages or websites to double-check games and times. But, yeah, love these schedules, man. They've just been such a hit around town. People always ask about them. And so, we'll continue doing these for a long time. It's just one little schedule keeps you up to date with everybody in Lincoln County and your Western Cobras.
That's right. We love the Western Cobras here as well. I'll put one in my pocket, and I keep it with me. Yeah, and Brandon, look, we could sit here and we could have a 2-hour show that Jay Greer would love, where we talk about all the mistakes that I've made, especially like working in print. You can say somebody's going to have a big hit, and you can accidentally put an S on front of that, and the next thing you know, you're getting called into the carpet. And I've experienced some of that stuff. This time of year. Look, I don't write for the newspaper anymore. I did for a long time. And one of the things that I did when I was with the newspaper was I created the football magazine every year called The Gridiron. It was important to me because it was something that I'd seen Tom Getz do for years and years and years. We're gonna have Tom Getz on Y'all Sports Radio one day. I've already told him to put that aside, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I said, you're the guru of sports in Southwest Mississippi. We gotta get you on. But
I've never met him.
Oh man,
I'm excited.
I talked to him today, and so one thing that that when I was doing the gridiron, I put so many hours into it, and then it was always a mad dash to like proof it and get it printed. It just felt like there's so many other things going on. The people that got them printed, they were getting right towards the end, they were sending them to get designed and laid out at a sister paper that was like in Michigan. So I just always thought that was like nuts. It was better when we did it in house. But I say all that to say, one year it comes out, and I'm looking at it, and the names for the Brookhaven High players. This was the year that the higher ups told me, they said, we want to get every player on a team. We want to get a picture of them in there, every player. And I was like, guys, that's impossible. That's impossible because of the deadline that you're giving me to get this thing. You're saying we got to send it to the printer by the middle of July. And I'm telling you that if you go to workouts in the middle of July, the best player on the team might not be there. He might be at centrifuge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did it. I'm a team player. I'm a good soldier, and I did it. And you'll like this, Brandon. I went to Wesson, and I was taking pictures of them after Jeremy Lloyd had them running the hill. They look like a bunch of corpses. I went to Lloyd Star, and since Johnny Smith is so tight with the Lloyd Star fam, they were like first up on his media day list. So I was actually able to get like Lloyd Star media day pictures. So nice. Lloyd Star is in shoulder pads, looking like $1 million. Wesson, there was one guy, he got done throwing up. Hey, man, when you get done ralphing, come over here and let me take a picture of you for the gridiron. And so I'm sure people saw that and they're like, man, Cliff did Wesson dirty. But no, that's what they made me do. But the Brookhaven pictures that year were just, the names were just absurd. Oh, man. And I just, well, I mean, I messed up. But the worst was my boy Bryce Smith, who I literally held when he was 2 days old. I'd gone to church with him my entire life. His name was like David Johnson or something like that. And I had to just send some people a message. I grabbed him one day at church and I said, hey, man, of all the kids to have the wrong name, I'm sorry that your name was wrong. Typos happen, brother.
Oh, man, typos happen. And then they just put you on such a crunch and want so much material. And, I mean, that's a lot for one person. It really is. But one thing that I've really enjoyed about everything you've done with y'all sports is that, man, so while you were limited in the with the paper and in the magazine, man, if somebody wants to be educated on anything sports related in Southwest Mississippi, you're going to have it for them. I mean, all the hot topics and even old stories. And so you're not limited, man. And I'm grateful for that because, me, I'm a sports fanatic, man, and always have something. Matter of fact, I'm a rising star. I may be a top fan.
You're up there, brother. You're up there on the rankings.
But speaking of that, man, hey, so you went to Crystal Springs earlier in the week.
I did. I went yesterday.
And so of course, when I pull up my social media, there's y'all sports as it should be, and so. I see you walk up. I see Coach kind of talking to the guys. You can tell they had just got done
gassers
with some level of practice. Could have been a lot of. And man, they were spent. And then I heard your voice come on, and I could tell the intensity in it. And so I told my kids, I said, "Y'all be quiet for a minute. Cliff's about to preach one." And so I turned it up and I got to listen. I said, "Man, he is speaking some truth right here." But yeah, man, hey, great job encouraging those guys and coaches too, because it's always good to hear it from somebody outside of the coaching staff. What could be.
Yeah, and look, I'm not afraid to talk smack. And if you know me, then you know that one of the things that I guess one of the personality traits that I would say to myself is most important to me is like being real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
Yeah, I don't ever want anybody to think I'm fake. I don't ever think I'm doing something for clicks or anything like that. Y'all sports is just my brain. It's the things that I enjoy. I'd be doing it if I didn't have the platform that I had. I'd probably be doing something similar regardless. Right. I mean, watch my Instagram stories. I'm just an open book. But I can't stand when folks portray themselves as one thing or another, and they're not. And there's a guy that goes around and he ranks things, and it's a way to get people to click on your content, and it's all about monetization, Brandon. It is. And look, if somebody, I've gotten a small taste of that. If somebody is telling you that they're living off their social media dollars, then they're probably starving unless there's somebody that has 2 or 3 million followers, or they got another job, or they got another stream of income or something. Yeah. Because you can post a video that gets 1 million views, and your earnings for it on Facebook will be $2.50 or $3 or $4, something like that. Yeah. And it can add up to $1,000 here, or $200 here, or $100 here, or $40 here, or $50 here. But you see folks that are constantly looking to draw the clicks. And somebody had ranked all the teams in 3A, and they had Crystal Springs last. Well, Crystal Springs was 0-9 last year, but they're high school kids, right, dude. And I don't think anybody needs to be going out and pointing a finger and saying, you're the best and you're the worst. Mm-hmm. I'll talk about the best all day long, but I don't talk about the worst, man. That's not what I do. Yeah. And so I saw those kids, and it is July. I mean, it's August. These guys have been out there in July. They've been out there in August. They're at a school that's 0-9. There's about 30 of them out there. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, these are kids that we should be talking positive about, not negative about, man. Football is hard to begin with, Brandon, but you put it in Mississippi and the time we play, is there a harder sport around? I don't know one.
I can't think of one. And the reality is somebody – until somebody speaks up and says, listen, they got us ranked at the bottom, and I don't care who this person – listen, that guy can go kick rocks, but let me tell you something, team. Like, you should take offense to that. Yeah. And if you don't take offense to that, we got bigger problems on our team than we thought in the beginning. Yeah. And so but it takes somebody to say something. And when somebody says something, guess what? And it's positive – it can take off like a wildfire, and then the next thing you know, you got enough people saying the right things and doing the right things, and now we're knocking on the door for some upsets, and then maybe in contention for the playoffs, and then even if you don't win a playoff game and you don't go to the championship, you can still have a successful season because you changed your mindset, you changed what you said, and your heart felt different about the whole equation.
If Crystal Springs wins one game this year, it'll be an improvement. If they win 2, it'll be a better improvement. If they win 3 or 4, it'll be great. And that's how you have to. That's why I gave them an example of Brookhaven High, who went 1-9 when the class of 2026 was freshmen, and they had a bunch of young kids playing. I went to the last game of the season where they won. Future starting linebacker for the state championship, DJ Washington, he's out there playing as a 9th grader. As a 9th grade linebacker in 5A football, ain't going to get a whole lot done unless they're super special, right? And so those guys were out there. They were getting their they were getting their sea legs under them a little bit, and it just continued to build and continued to build. And I have that hope for Crystal Springs, and I wanted to bring a positive word to them. I really appreciate Coach Coleman up there for allowing me to do that. I also got to brag on a really positive word here locally that our guy Derwin Fields, the inaugural guest on Y'all Sports Radio, the first ever guest on this show months ago, was named to the Clearing Ledger's Dandy Dozen team. And Brandon, you grew up in Batesville, I grew up in Brookhaven, but it doesn't matter where you lived growing up, Dandy Dozen meant something.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've talked about it before, but listen, when that Clearing Ledger, when that newspaper came out, and we wanted to go see, and you heard from people, hey, you heard old such and such made the Dandy Dozen, and it's like, and just the feelings. I mean, I get chill bumps thinking about it right now. It's just such great memories growing up. And when I saw the social media outlet come out in the Clearing Ledger, and then people started sharing it, man, I'm dove in. I want to know more. And of course, I know about a lot of these players as it is, but I'm diving in. Like, let me see the yards they had last year. How big is that? Man, he's a big old kid. And so, but props to Derwin, man, for all the hard work and then his God-given ability and him putting it to use. But I am of the mindset, whoever picks the Dandy Dozen, how do you do that? Like, how do you pick 12, the 12 best in Mississippi?
It's a lot about offers. It is.
It's offers, and it does matter who you play for.
Yep.
That kind of thing matters.
I like that they had a Greenwood guy in there. That Greenwood guy's got a lot of offers.
Got some Delta
gets left out sometimes. There are a lot of people that want a running back from Roosevelt to get in.
He's a great player.
He's coming to state. He is a great player, but a lot of times who you play against matters, and Roosevelt doesn't play against the same people that Tupelo plays against. And Tupelo had a 1,700-yard running back not make it. But you know what? They had a big offensive line. A 6'8" offensive lineman made it, and your running back doesn't have 1,700 yards if he doesn't have that lineman in front of him.
And the other side is, what if Brookhaven didn't have the season that they had last year? Would Derwin be in contention? I would say probably yes. But
he would, yeah. Because Derwin's,
but it matters. Those kind of things matter.
Absolutely. Derwin's, if you haven't heard the story, Derwin's recruitment took off after his sophomore year, the spring after his sophomore year. His first 5 offers after Southern Miss were Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M got in very early on him. Ole Miss was like his second offer, and when you have those level of SEC schools, that they can see they're projecting what you're going to be one day, and that's the cool thing about Dirt is that he's sitting at 6'5", 240 right now, and they know he's just going to keep getting bigger and stronger, and that speed that he has and that motor that he has isn't going to go away. Well, I thought one cool thing about it, Brandon, was out of 12 players, talking about Katie on the show last week, my sister Katie got to see 3 of those 12 live in action because 2 of them were from Poplarville, and fans in this area know that our local 4A region with Macomb and Lawrence County, that those guys play in the same district with Columbia and Poplarville and South Pike as well. You gotta be ready for battling that one. Poplarville, Macomb will go to Poplarville this year. I think Poplarville is going to be in Magnolia, but I know they're going to be in Monticello late in the year. So if you want to see Ty Keys, who is the best running back in the state, he's committed to Miami, and they've got a defensive lineman named Sam Lejeune. He's going to Florida State. A lot of out-of-state guys on this Dandy Does. I know you're an Ole Miss fan. You're like, you wish they all ended up in Oxford, but
I'll be honest. Like I'm good with going to Southern, going to Mississippi State. I love when Mississippi guys stay in Mississippi, but they got to make the best decisions for their family and for their future. And listen, I can't knock Dirt for going to Texas. I mean, listen, I played there against the University of Texas, and I didn't get to see much playing time, but I was on the airplane to get there. I can't be anything but honest. It wasn't like I went out there and dominated Texas, but so their stadium, their fans, the whole atmosphere, it's incredible. And that was in 2007. I hadn't been back since, and we know what's happened in the last 19 years. With stadiums, facilities, and just all around athletics, and so love the fact that he's getting that opportunity, and I'll throw up the hook 'em horns anytime he's not playing Arkansas State or Ole Miss. So.
Well, I shouted out. I made a post on Y'all Sports. If you're ever looking for us, you can find us on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're just all over the place. Just Google Y'all Sports, and so I made a post, congratulating Derwin, talking about how proud his dad would be if he were here, and the impact that his mom and his grandma. If you listened to our show with him before, those people were really big in his life. But it reminded me of how guys like Rod Walker and Todd Kelly, they wrote for the Clarion Ledger, and they really made the Dandy Dozen special with their efforts. And I can remember, Brandon, I can't remember what year it was, but there was a year in the late 90s, maybe it was 99, 98, somewhere in there, where folks in the South folks in Mississippi were very kind of embarrassed because out of the best 12 players in the state, only like 2 or 3 of them had qualifying scores to go play at the Division I level.
Yeah.
A lot of them went on and played JUCO.
That's right.
And that was tougher back then. It was tougher back then. It's tougher to be D1 eligible back then than it is now. Much easier now. Folks, now you don't have a minimum ACC score. Yeah. You just have to have a certain GPA. You got to take it. You have a certain GPA, and they're going to figure out a way to get you in. Back then, a little bit more strict. And so even though, we're looking at it and we're saying, okay, these 2 guys are going to Michigan, this guy's going to Ohio State, or this guy's going to Florida State, this guy's going to Miami, These guys going to Texas. Still, at the end of the day, man, it makes us all pump our chest out and say, hey, we got the best of the best, dog.
Oh, man.
We got the best of the best.
No question. You know, per capita. And you've heard all the –
yeah, per capita, but then also just straight up talent-wise.
For sure.
Yeah.
We can compete with any state.
Any state.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
In all sports, I feel like. And so, yeah, just so much to be proud of. I'm a Mississippi guy through and through. I lived in Arkansas for a couple or 3 years when I went to college, and I was quick to come back home, man. I love this state. I love our people.
Love our people, man.
I love our small town and everything that we have to offer with community and athletics. All those things are intertwined. And so I don't know where you're listening to this show, but hey, take a little pride in your hometown and take some pride in your small town, because most towns in Mississippi are small, and give back. Do something special for your local teams, and put out something nice in a world full of negativity. Be positive.
That's right. It's easy, and just get outside of your little bubble and look around, and you can see that you probably got it better than a lot of folks do, for sure. Yeah, and look, I love those interstate matchups we have when our teams get to compete. Now I'm going to be pulling for the West Point Green Wave. They're going to play the Ruston Bearcats, and if you know anything about Louisiana football, you know that Ahmad Hudson, the best player in Louisiana, is a tight end at LSU that Lane Kiffin wants, and also Will Wade wants, because he's a heck of a basketball player. He is a absolute man of a tight end, and props to West Point. They duck no smoke. They always play folks like Starkville, Tupelo, Louisville, and at their beginning of the season. And they're going to play Ruston this year, one of those fun Mississippi-Louisiana matchups that you love to see, where we get to see how we stack up.
Speaking of that, I know we're short on time, but Park Lane, when do they head down to the coast?
August 21st, Park Lane. Our friend Coach Ron Rushing, a guest on Y'all Sports Radio, they're going to be at Gulf Shores High School playing at their new multi-million-dollar facility in a game where, I talked to Coach Rushing the other day. He said they'd gone up and they had scrimmaged MRA, and he said it's the best I've felt leaving MRA maybe in my career. He said we had some guys that they couldn't block, and he loves the speed of that Park Lane defense. Man, if you're not fired up for football right now, what are you even doing with your life? This is Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Ferb, the biggest bald guy in the room. I've been the one that's talking the most, but I couldn't do it without my buddy Brendan Shamatara. He's my friend. He's my co-host. And we had a great time today talking to Coach Alissa Adams. You can tune in next week to hear more about what's going on in athletics in Southwest Mississippi on Y'all Sports Radio. See you next week.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.